for what is now the G2 roster. Very long time ago and won many a championship under that. Let's have a look at the map veto, see where we'll stack up for this best of one. With no overtime, it is going to reach Cafe by the end of it. Guys, are you expecting to see this one?
I mean, I don't know about expecting, because one of the interesting things here is Virtus.Pro, they've been to 4 different maps, one of which has been Cafe. Playday 3, they beat Chaos on it, so that's obviously something kind of encouraging for them. It wasn't the cleanest game, but we'll, forget about that. But Team Secret have only been to 2 maps so far, Oregon and Villa, and they haven't been able to win, so I was really hoping for something that wasn't one of those maps.
And indeed, we're getting that one. And this was actually the map which they kicked off the Challenger League series with the last time around. They managed to play against Salamander, and that's where, for likes of me and Dez, their attacks really started showing as a uniform machine that we now know Secret as. Their attacks are really strong. They just need to work on getting everything together.
And I like, Gia, that you mentioned that we've only seen 2 different maps so far from Secret, and they were the ones who decided to head over to Cafe instead of that Oregon we've seen them before. So it should be interesting to see something fresh for them. But let's have a look at what you guys think back home. Who's going to win this matchup? Get our viewer predictions. You guys can get into this on Twitter, by the way, at R6 Esports EU. Quite a heavy slant towards the more experienced roster here, guys. Is this what you're expecting? And does this align with your expectations for the game?
I mean, I would have to say yes, because I think Virtus.Pro have shown some consistent improvement in the last few play days, whereas Team Secret haven't really. They've shown struggles throughout the league so far, with no real sign of any major improvement. So I would have to kind of go along with the audience vote, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, it's a new wake, it's some new chances, and we know that, well, from history-wise, Secret can deal really well with frag-heavy teams. Now, we thought maybe we'd see a bit more against BADS, but that turned out to become another 7-1 slaughter, so I hope that they can manage to pick themselves up here to actually show their effectiveness against aggression.
Yeah, I think we're definitely looking at Secret to hopefully try and contend with these EUL teams. Do you guys think that they have what it takes to stack up against the rest of them? I feel like if there's anywhere to prove that, it's right here against VP.
I mean, look, this team qualified to be here. They earned their spot here. They have ex-Pro League players on the team. They have a great coach in Omerta. This is a team that knows what they're doing, and sometimes great teams have their struggles. We've seen it in teams like Empire, like G2. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be here. It doesn't mean they're not good enough to be here. It just means they're still finding their footing, their identity, and what it is that they want to be doing. So I do have faith in Team Secret. I don't think it's fair to write them off just yet.
Well, I'm glad they've got at least one fan. Hap, who do you reckon is going to take this, VP or Secret?
The thing is, what Secret is missing, in my opinion, is like that one guy who can just brute force through any defense that you find just to open up, right? So in that case, I think VP will take it. But if Prano manages to fulfill that role, it's going to be Secrets.
All right, it is Desertu and the one and only Milosh the Medic to cast this one. Guys, have an absolute ball.
Thank you very much, James. I'm very sure we shall. And as you can see, I'm with the man who may have one day done the Maestro cosplay, but today happens to be a bit of a Maestro himself, Mr. Milosh. I am delighted that we finally get to share a mic together, and what a game to share it for. As the analyst alluded to, Secret versus Virtus.Pro. Both teams, I think, scrapping to find some form or some way to climb up the rankings here. Today's their chance to start that journey.
Definitely so. There's so much pressure on both VP and Secret. After their National League performance, you have to get into this league, an EU league, and really perform and show that not only are you good on your national level, but you're also good when it comes to the entire region. It's a very open region full of so much talent. And we've seen how much raw talent can bring you forward, combined with some experience. BDS maybe here or there. It might be the biggest kind of team out there to look into. But let's go for our operator bans. Starting off with Virtus.Pro. They're banning on the attack Thatcher first. Who knows?
It's not really the go-to, isn't it, these days? Most teams do not want to be dealing with a mute Mozzie combo. A lot of the time, it just helps get rid of that utility that might be irritating you. So for a lot of teams, it can be taken away. But Virtus.Pro going to go towards a Capital ban. Equally, very, very good. See a lot of teams using that to clear out things like the pixel spot or just to force defenders out of comfortable positions.
Not surprising there. Thatcher is the second operator to be removed, this time by Team Secret. Capitao is such a strong operator. Understandable that he does get banned. As you talked about it, you can push people out of so many different bunker spots, basically power positions. You have to take him away. Valkyrie to reduce that information gathering. As you see, Virtus.Pro is turning off on the defense. You want to make sure you knock down the defense a peg, especially when you're on the attacking side. First, Wamai! All right.
Oh, yes. I love it.
Makes so much sense, right? How often have we been seeing that Jaeger-Wamai combination that sits in yellow, sits in freezer, sits in bar, and it's like impossible to push them away? How difficult is reading as a site to push when you don't have those now operators that, or actually how easy it is to not have these two operators to deal with on the defense?
I'm kind of surprised, to be fair. We spoke about this before the last fixture on the desk, that we're seeing BDS being one of the teams continuously banning away the Wamai. Whereas here they said, see you later, mate. We're not dealing with that combo, as you mentioned just a second ago. Now another team adds it to their lineup. It's going to start getting terrifying. Won't lie, I did expect to see that Valkyrie ban be a Goyo ban coming through for Secret. We spoke about it before with Virtus.Pro in one of their previous fixtures on this map, that they do like running Goyo an awful lot here. So you take away a lot of the comfort, should we say, for Virtus.Pro if you remove it off the board, but in this case it will be in play. And as much as I've said that, they are not running it here on this side in towards Freezer. But I've got to draw your attention here, Mr. Milos 2, the lineup coming out of Secret. We're not just seeing an Iana like we're very used to seeing from these boys, we're also seeing an Amaru being brought along by Prano.
No Kali. The analysts pointed this out so well on the desk. Kali has been an operator that KS will play consistently, but also is Ash when it comes to pure numbers. And yeah, he's on the operator this time. You're seeing also the Amaru, right? We've been seeing Leon playing a lot of Amaru. If you look at Rogue and how they've been performing in the past couple of weeks, a lot of it, if you ask me, this is just my personal opinion, is how effective the G8 is. It's such a powerful weapon, and it makes sense that everybody's running it. But on the defense, you know that you're kind of limited on information. What do? Go for the spawn peaks. Great play there. You're kind of baiting out your opponents by running the Mozzie outside. But who's actually doing the killing, at least theoretically? Pasha on the Vigil, right? Mute Mozzie combination, you can do a lot of work with that. But Prano's already in the co-check, wasting no time for Secret to cut off rotations on the site.
Massive bait here as well. Forget about going to the top floor, he says. I'm straight inside, and you guys probably aren't fully aware that I'm here right now because there is no one on the defensive side holding up towards Restaurant or this red hallway. He could cause so much damage here if he gets himself into the right position. And now they know the drone calls come out. This is surely where he can catch one. Yes, they can. Shockwave the first one to fall down, but Rasky's there immediately with the trades.
Great shot from Rask, taking control of Coat. And yeah, that was a power position, but you need your teammates to help you with it. You're running solo in such an exposed spot. And look at that. Draven is going to take down another. Pasha is down. Finally, that roam play is not going to be effective. And you know what the best part of this entire thing? You put VP on edge, and you still have just under 2 minutes left. That is so much time left for Secret. You still have your Heart Breacher. There's a lot of flexibility given the fact that you have the Yana and two Soft Breach operators in the Ashe and the Zofia. And that play into Freezer might be the one for you to go for. You also have opportunities through Coach Check, just pushing through there in Red Hall. So here it is. Quick flash down, and they're just checking. They know there's a player in here, and can they win it? No. Emission is going to be the one to find it. A brown stairs. KS shot down. Hype unaware. How do I deal with this? And whoa, he can just get smacked in the face. Expo will take down one on WTG, but it's a quick 2v2.
Constant trades coming out from Virtus.Pro here. I'm really impressed how they keep on forcing this out, despite despite Secret looking like the ones that are in control. It's constantly been Virtus.Pro striking back within seconds of them finding a kill or looking to make a play. So they've done a very good job of shutting down this horizontal aggression coming out of Team Secret. Very unique for them. Normally see them going for the top floor take, opening up the fireplace hatch and trying to go for a plant down from there once they get inside of sight. So something different coming out of them, definitely making themselves hard to guess, I think. Here, High's going to try and do what he can to find his way onto Emission, who's playing under the stairway. But given it's a 2 versus 2, you have to be so careful what gunfights you take.
You have no drones left you expended all of that. You relied on the Yana to gather information. You would love to have the operator right now, but none of it. You still have some utility. Hyph is not going to be the one to use it, and Expo is barely alive here as he peeks right into the freezer. Doesn't find anybody there, and Amizian and Rask. Rask has literally been sitting in that hallway and bakery the entire time, and now he has Amizian to support him right around the corner in the rotation. There it is. Rask rotated back into the kitchen as he was holding that hallway for around 2 minutes of the round. He's still holding it from another spot deep inside of the kitchen. Well done, Virtus.Pro. Secret wanted to be proficient. They wanted to be efficient, run in very quickly, take control of Kochek, cut off rotations, and they were able to find an opening. But they got stuck on the basics, which is clearing the mute or the smoke from that Christmas tree downstairs. If you open that up, or pressure from the top floor, keep that in mind, then your entry into set will be much easier. That's the one thing. You forgot the verticality. That is my biggest problem with that first attack from Secret.
I don't really blame them though, right? The whole intent there was to ignore any aspect of vertical play, just get control of Christmas, take control of White Corridor, cut out the rotate, like you say, so no one can go and support up towards Restaurant and help anyone playing down White. It was essentially saying, you know what, we know they're playing this roam game, we know they've got a Mute and a Mozzie, we don't want to run into that, we don't want to burn drones going up to that, we'd rather focus on the downstairs and let the roamers do their thing. It's a risky strategy. Sometimes it pays off. In that case, it didn't. That came down a lot more to losing the gunfights than the strategy itself being bad in my mind. I saw the intent. Couldn't quite get the execution through. That's going to happen sometimes.
I completely agree with you. That's the problem. We're looking at it into saying, okay, what did Secret want to do in the beginning? This is what the mistake was. Some teams will actually double down and keep playing the first strategy that they had in mind, even though it is technically not going to work because they lost some immense part of the, or very important part of their strategy or their operators and such. But in this case, there could have been opportunities in other places. You have so much time. In the end, Virtus.Pro capitalized. They stayed put. That's the thing to look into, how VP were comfortable that whole time, despite the fact that Secret were pressuring that whole time. On to round number 2. Virtus.Pro playing upstairs here in the bar, and they got a Maestro, so tons of information. No real need for the Valkyrie in the situation. And Pasha is running the Goyo. This is the beauty of having the operator in White Hall. No one's going to be coming through here. Yes, you don't have a Wamai, not as good, but the delay factor is huge.
Ooh, nearly catching him from on White Stairs there as well. Just a very quick skip over the top of the shield for Pasha. And won't find himself going down, but that was Hyph, I believe, getting himself into a very interesting spot very, very quickly. I don't think anyone on the side of Virtus.Pro expecting to be in a spot to be able to catch them out so soon. But good vertical, well, good horizontal pressure, I guess I should say, coming in from that window. Good attempt at getting into a good position early on. I do like how Secret are playing this differently so far. They're trying different things. They aren't starting out on towards the west of the map. They're very, very willing instead to look towards White Corridor as their first bit of focus. So then keep Virtus.Pro guessing here. Keep on asking questions of these boys. They might start finding some victories. Speaking of which, there's KS getting an opening kill onto a mission. That Maestro is eviscerated and removed from the field.
Vertical pressure again. There it is. This is the power of it. And pressuring from reading is such a powerful thing to do as a defender. Pano is going to find one on a Pasha. Great. You've took down the Goyo finally. His shield is down now in White Stairs. There's one player in Shockwave that you're going to have to deal with, but you have a Zofia. You don't unfortunately have stuns, which would be great for Hyph, but you can pressure him away maybe from some power positions. Pressure in from Piano. There's so much that is possible for you as a team. Or if anything, pull up the Yana. Use her information gathering to your great effect. Oh, there it is. Grenade and the Nash Stars go off. Shockwave takes a lot of damage, but somehow is still alive. Runs away and is just trying to survive. So close up. A team kill. Unfortunate there. Okay. That's not great, is it? It's a great analysis right there, I know.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I think that's about as descriptive as you can get. Team kill at this point in the game when you've already had so much work going on from Prano, finding that kill on White Stairs, you would expect maybe him to have a much bigger impact later on to this round, but not to be the case. Either way, Draven's going to make up for his past sins and find a kill back onto the other side. However, Rask once again is there ready to trade things back. It is a constant war between these two sides. WTG even things out in the 2 versus 2. KS crawls his way out. White finds a double. Can he make it a third to close the round out? It's all down to Rask by himself here inside of storage in a 2 versus 1, but time waits for no one here. Secret have got to play fast. They try and go for the kill. He finds the one into KS. It's a 1 versus 1. There is no time to play for him. Virtus.Pro will still find this one closing out their way due to some excellent closing moments in that round.
Beautiful play there from the Jaeger. Run away and play for time. And that's the main thing. Time. Same problem as before. You got the pick at the beginning. You played the vertical game. Great. But where the problem with the execution, Secret are trying to swing in from the windows. Unfortunately, when you don't have pressure coming in from, well, you had something from Skylight, but I believe that was the same player that actually was on Skylight that tried to vault through into heaven. But the problem is that nobody was coming in from Cigar, from Humidor, pressuring from there. That's how the Jaeger could survive for so long, and you could not contest them the whole time. Everybody from Secret was focused on reading, and rightfully so, but you can't do that for the entirety of the round. And at least what they have to look forward to in this third round on the rotation of sites is that you don't have to fear that Jaeger plus Wamai combination. You do have to fear, unfortunately for you, is a Mira being brought up. So that I'm definitely going to be looking into. And Emigian rocking the Goyo. So if you can put enough pressure here from Bathroom, from Freezer, etc., you're not going to be able to take control of that top floor. And what's the deal with this? Come on, chat, whoever you are. You're attacking a site on the bottom floor. Always take the one on the top. Simple as that. Vertical play gives you so much flexibility. And in this case, if you can hold that top floor, you can hold reading pretty easily. And you have some pretty sweet rotates down to side needed.
My fear here comes in from what we saw at a Secret in the last round, right? Was that they did put a lot of focus on the downstairs. Think about how many times we saw a member of Virtus.Pro having to move from playing inside of Cocktail, move their way out towards the bar because they were afraid of grenades flying in. There was breaching charges below. We saw 3 players from Secret downstairs inside of Reading at one point. And even with 3 of them down there, they still managed to team kill someone. Go figure. But either way, they did a really good job. This is Virtus.Pro, of course, of keeping themselves alive despite all that pressure coming in. And that much I can admire. It looks like on the side of Secret here, after 2 rounds of trying to make that Amaru work, though, it's time to drop it away. Hype is on the Nomad, and Prano's going to be back to ye old faithful on the Zofia. That's kind of more of the default roles we used to see in these boys play, and I don't blame them. The scariest thing looking at this for me is prior to today, looking at the stats, so I was speaking to the coach, Amerta, earlier on, these boys have some of the best entry stats in the league right now. They have 4 players in the top 10 for entry, but 4 players are also in the bottom 50% for KD. They are very good at getting opening kills, but actually converting them into round wins doesn't go so well, and that's exactly what happened last round. They were in a 4 versus 2 and still managed to lose the round.
A perfect point. That's the problem with the execution. You can have so many great entries at all. There it is. That's the entry. Draven, great shot on to Pasha, dispatching the Mira. And yes, you can do so much work with the Vector. But was this the play? If you ask me, not really worth it. Stay back. And you see Hype setting up his air jabs. All of them have been deployed to shut down any rotations in and out of sight. As Secret understand, we take that top floor. Our push onto site is way easier. And you'll have to worry about the dock. Yeah, sure. Long range engagement, MP5 ACOG, all great. But as long as you're holding on to the top, there you go. You got bar, and now you just try to open up the site. You just have to deal with those mute jammers that have been placed in and around pillars and reading. It's a great entry here. 2 players down from Virtus.Pro, and the Habana is getting to work. But there it is. Mute jammer is down. Quickly from the dock. Can he find anybody in Cigar? No, he's going to force all the way back. Nobody's in the lounge. Walls open, and this is your moment, Secret.
Well, they've got all the work done towards the west side, right? They've got the control they need both on the second floor and on the top floor, so they can deal with what they need to. And now they're making even more of that control come to light as Rask has gone here. That's the Jaeger done. So now you're looking towards Shockwave on the dock, playing a bit range with ACOG. You're looking at the Goyo, potentially trying to waste some time. But this feels like the kind of rounds I'm used to seeing from Secret. Ones where they are in full control and everything is being executed to perfection. It's what did them so well in many of their games all the way back in Challenger League. This is how the last few rounds were meant to go. A flawless round coming out for Team Secret in round number 3.
That was beautiful play. Secret they had so much time and opportunity. Those entry kills actually translated into a victory. Why? Amira overpeaked. You got him in heaven. Great early kill, right? Opens up so much for you. And then you got another one that would, people believe the mute that was picking out of reading. Unfortunate timing for him, but either get killed by somebody lower or there's somebody upstairs right below you hatch, and you're not going to survive for long. So again, was it worth it? I don't think so. VP could not hold on to that bar cocktail area long enough to draw the timer down to a point where Secret will be doing those mistakes that are not unique to Secret. They are to every team that is pressured by time, because the real mistakes happened earlier when you did not invest your time into doing the right things for the moment. It's a very difficult thing for any team and any player to do. This is why experience in the end gives you so much of a head start against any opponent, because you can gauge that timing. You've played so often in these situations, and when placed in them, you can react in the right way. This is why we weigh experience so much when it comes to analyzing pro play. But what do VP do now? Okay, look, they ran through most of the sites. They'll go back down to kitchen, right? A site that works so well for them, even with that loss in entry. And they still will play a similar lineup that we had before, right? They're going to bring the alibi, no vigil. Alibi, still, I know a lot of people will disagree. I think a good operator brings you a lot of flexibility. You have a shield. You have enough utility to delay your opponents. Plus, you have your bailiff to open up some smaller rotation holes or some peak holes. I think a very underrated operator, if you ask me.
I mean, there's a reason why a lot of teams are running her in these situations where you have a little bit of flexibility in that fifth defensive spot, is that you can play her very effectively as a roamer. 3-speed, semi-decent gunner. Wouldn't say it's the best gun in the game, but it's semi-decent. You can bring impacts if you want to Impatrick, and you have the bailiff for being able to open things up. I agree with you. Lots of flexibility and a shield in this meta, in this day and age, is no bad thing to bring. When you haven't got a Goyo, I think they're looking for that second operator. You might lean towards something like a Wamai, in this case, obviously being banned away. So the Amplifier will fit in just fine. Let's see how Secret can approach this, because so far I have been impressed by their setups. I think the intent has always been good. It's one of these games, and I'll say it every single broadcast until the day I die. I swear it'll be the last words that leave my breath-starved lips as I'm dying. I will say, Siege is a game. It doesn't matter how good your strats are. If you don't hit your shots, you're going to lose. That's how things are set up so far in a couple of these rounds. And that last round, cool. They hit the shots. Everything is fine and dandy. Well done, guys. Give yourself a gold star. It was the first two rounds that lacked a little bit. Let's see if in the next couple, though, they can bring things back and at least have a good attacking half.
Oh, Nitrocell preset. Is there any information on player above? Unfortunate. Prano was off to the other side playing on that top floor. Inside of dining, unfortunate there. You're going to see a lot of rotation holes being, or rotation positions, specifically red stairs, cut off thanks to Hife's air jabs that have been preset. WTG in the code check. There's Bob Wires to give him some information. If Expo were to walk on down from red, and the Ash is trying to do some work from above, trying to find, oh, sorry, excuse me. Did you see the G36 and you're like, wow, is that an Ash or not? But no, it's Ayana, and she's trying to do some work from above. But right now, TAM management works well for Team Secret. How much information do they have on the site? That's what's in my mind. They've lost so far 5 of their drones. They have 5 more. They're deploying most of them. So you got to be careful with setting all of that up, but you have some extra utility, so you can use it on the floor. Yeah, I know, it's hilarious, isn't it? But yeah, it works, you know? Is it worth it? I don't know, but maybe if you can get a plank down. They're just trying to open up all these walls here for a push. Will they be able to shoot down any player playing Christmas Tree? That's my big question now, Des.
I would really love to understand what's changed for these boys as well. They love running Iana, but normally you see Draven on the sledge or the buck. In this case, he's playing on neither. So clearly a massive reason why they keep on committing to bringing this Iana along. We've seen it from them seemingly every single game so far, no matter what map they're playing on. We're in a spot now, though, where it's a 5 versus 4. Secret are once again in the lead, but 15 seconds. The clock is not their friend. Shockwave finds 2 with a shotgun. What more can you ask for? It's a 4 versus 3. The clock goes red. 10 seconds remain. We know how these rounds tend to end. It doesn't always end with a triple kill for Shockwave, but this time it will. 4 versus 2. 2 seconds left. This one's going to go down to the wire, and no way Prano can do anything in this one. They are time starved, but Virtus.Pro definitely not point starved. They take another round.
Same problem as we had before, right? I think we're going to broken records, but I really have to preface all of this that it's very difficult for teams to realize what the problem is and how to fix it. And we only see the problem. We don't see how Secret are trying to anticipate what VP are doing. And that sometimes works against you, right? You try to overcomplicate these situations in your head. But as with every round, Secret, beautiful entry, right? They find the operators that they need to grab. They get 2 before entering on the site. And then, unfortunately, the important part, which is the question I raised just before that attack happened, how do you deal with a player that's sitting down a Christmas tree and waiting for you? Because if you drop Freezer, he is going to smash you with a shotgun. And that is exactly what happened to the T. Same issue. Try to fix it. Who knows if this is even possible right now? We're close, to an impossible rotation pretty much on a back down to Kitchen. Virtus.Pro won the site. There's a couple more rounds left in round 5 and 6. So they're probably going to play here in Bar and downstairs in Reading after it. Not surprised at all if that would happen. You're going to see same operators as before, but no caught at this time as they realize, like, hey, our opponents are only bringing the Hibana all of the time. Is it really that necessary for us to bring the Kite? Not really. Let's just put it on somewhere else. Let's try to win more of those gunfights because, as you said, Des, when Secret win the gunfights, they have an opening. They actually enter and win, right? That was the 1 W they have on the board.
Absolutely that as well. Flawless round at that as well, which is probably the craziest part. This round, the one thing I am liking seeing is that Hive has gone straight into the sledge. We literally at the end of the last round said a lack of vertical destruction. They're having to use the Kairos here. A little bit panicked at points as well. We see a lot of grenades coming out of players like Draven. Normally, I'm kind of surprised that it's Hive in this position now. Clearly, they aren't too afraid of flanks coming out of the side of Virtus.Pro, else this would probably still be a Nomad here. But I think because there's a lot of focus going on the outside of the map, they're doing a lot of work off towards the east as we saw the last time round they attacked this site. They're just thinking, you know what, Nomad, probably not really needed here. Let's not worry about it too much.
So drones are coming in and droning downstairs in Reading. Completely normal. You saw Secret playing pretty much the same exact way last time. They came into Reading, pressure, Shockwave, and Chaos was able to find that entry. So are they going to try to do the same thing again? Again, if they do that, it wouldn't be surprising at all. So you see the Maestro just standing on top of one of the cocktail bars and waiting for his opponents to peek him. Sometimes they win him, sometimes, that is cheeky, man. That is cheeky hype. You better stop right now. A bullet hole being set at the top of white. And if you try, there's a shield. Maybe he'll be able to find someone. Does he have the info? Yeah, and unfortunately, you're going to get spotted. Fall back. Not worth it no more, my friend.
Oh, that's a bit of damage. Oh, there we go. Pasha, Mr. C4 himself. Recall a couple of weeks ago when these boys played on Consulate. 3 rounds back-to-back, he was finding a C4 kill and 2 gun kills straight after. He was terrifying. And here, with another C4 onto Hive, that is the sledge gone. I have a very strong feeling Secret relying very heavily on these 4 frags. Otherwise, you would have seen them maybe bring along a buck. In this case, there's only the 2 frags left to be used for them. Unfortunate, but Secret are without, no doubt, what they were looking for in this round with this lineup.
The sledge got bonked hard. That's Armor right there for you. Push all the way down to garage, just the body flopping around and yeah, kind of pressure. Can he find anybody? Yeah, he'll be able to down Shockwave and Draven. Can he find it? Yeah, they're just running opposite angles. But what's the key difference between this and what happened a couple rounds ago? Back then, Draven... Secret had so much time. Now, they don't. And they have less manpower. Not a great spot to be in.
Like I say, those nades being missing from the sledge, sorry, it's probably going to hurt the most here, I think, because that would have been the big play, was to do downstairs damage. Yana being put to good use there as well, just baiting out where one is, and no doubt the call then comes through. Oh, there's someone holding up towards the white corridor right now, playing on the L. Can you catch him as he tries to push back in towards site? And there was someone lurking nearby. So Pasha, fortunately for him, stays alive for now, tucked way into that top corner, so shouldn't see himself being caught out. But once again, Milosh, I've got to look back at the clock. 15 seconds to go, and it's a 4 versus 4. There's a second kill for Pasha.
Oh, there it is. Smoke down, and you're trying to go for the kill, but WTG already does it. Chaos is down on white stairs. The same mistake as before as Rax is going to rattle off on the Jaeger, and Pano is left alone. He gives away his position, but it does not matter. Same situation as the past few rounds. Entries, okay. Not as good as you had them before. Time management, not great. Back to the drawing board with that. Round 6 is your last one on the attacking side. Secret have to put the pedal to the metal right now and try to salvage one round out of this. If you end a 4-2, it's not disastrous. You can come back from it, right? It's not the end of the world, but this is the most important asterisk. Don't let yourself fall into that how is it? That mindset, when you just keep getting crushed every single time. It's like going and reading, Twitch chat or Twitter or subreddit or whatever after cast, right? And you're like, well, was this really worth it? That's the mindset. You don't want to be in. And that's maybe something that Team Secret have to worry about. No, VP, going back to reading, unsurprising. The Jaeger's in, the Goyo's in, the Mira's in. You got Pulse as well to support from below. This makes a lot of sense. What really hurt VP before on this attack, or specifically when they were defending, that they didn't have information on the players above. They had to abandon that top floor in Cocktail way too early. This might be the right fix for them.
Hey, well, B, your comments on Twitch chat there. I'm sure they're all lovely and decent people, and I'm sure in Secret's mind they've also got the idea that this is the time to have some positive feedback of their own. Yes, the clock has been their worst enemy, absolutely no doubt about that so far, but Siege is a game of two halves. We have seen teams literally transform. We saw it in the last game, for example. Chaos looked so in control in the first half of attack on Coastline. It switches over, and suddenly, no, it's an Empire game, and they're the ones in control. It ends up in a draw. And things balance out absolutely perfectly at the bitter end of it all. Got to draw a quick attention this round, though, to the number of C4s coming out of the side of Virtus.Pro. Pasha's clearly gone, guys, look, it's easy, right? You just press G, you aim, you throw, you yeet it, and somehow someone dies on the other side. It's like magic. It makes these rounds so free. So I completely understand the intent here. Probably looking to rotate downstairs a bit later on, hold upstairs for as long as they can, and as soon as Secret get upstairs and are like, well, no one's here. Where's the enemy, sir? Oh, they're below us. Oh, the C4s were all dead. That's one thing to be looking out for here. Shockwave especially is going to be pivotal to this round in terms of the intel he passes over to the other side.
Makes a ton of sense, actually. Didn't even notice that, but there you go. Endless Mind in play for Nitro cells. You have so much. You peel off, you play the Nitros if you wish. There's a drone being set up here just to cover White stairs. There's shield at the other end of it, and probably somebody playing at top of White itself. What do? Do you push in from below? Do you pressure from the engine? That Mira is going to be difficult to deal with. You can just sit there and you have ADS. Yeah, you don't have a Wamai too, but it's a pretty powerful position here at Cocktail.
I'm always looking at the timer on the side of Secret and wondering just how much time they're burning getting themselves set up. We're about halfway into the round, and they've got 2 or 3 pushing in towards Cigar side, but sadly, that is not going to get you control of the site anytime soon, guys. We always say that reading Fireplace is bar and cocktail with extras. You need to get control of the top floor before you start the downstairs assault. We've seen some teams opt to avoid it completely, and in fact, Secret previously were kind of one of them. They didn't worry too much about the upstairs, focused instead on getting control of pillars and opening up the wall from there. I've seen Draven kill himself with a grenade from that position before. I am so glad to see it successfully went over the wall this time.
So, Hibana firing off. There's 2 from Virtus.Pro. Shockwave and Amizian. We're going to kill each. Prano and KS are down. Not great at all. And another drop from Pasha. He finds one out of ammo as he tries to fire into another one. They're so close up to pillars. And Draven is just going to be watching this hallway here, waiting for anybody to peek through pillars, peek through brown stairs. He's just begging them to go up, but the Pulse is giving all the information. It's so beautiful now from Virtus.Pro, and they have taken no damage, unscathed so far. This is not working for Secret.
Where on earth has Shockwave got himself to now? Because he was downstairs early, they had ones dropping from above. There he is, he's downstairs once again, just feeding it all back and forth to the team. And they haven't got time to rotate and deal with this is the problem. Yes, he can't see for them, but he's still in the spot to come up downstairs a bit later on and cause some trouble with the grenade now. What the pistol is out. Does he get it down? No, he doesn't barely even get any damage on the side there. Now he goes down. There's the... I literally said, a downstairs time for Shockwave. Later on, it comes up at the perfect time. All too easy for Virtus.Pro there. It reminds me of that old children's nursery rhyme. It's not really a nursery rhyme. It's like, we can't go under it, we can't go over it. Oh no.
We'll just shoot it.
Oh, you know what? Virtus.Pro were just like, no, we will go over it and we will go under it. Vertical play there was taken to the nth degree by them. Beautiful first half. They end 5-1 as they switch onto the attacking side.
And that's how you do it. Virtus.Pro teaching Secret how to run this sort of style themselves. Nobody usually thinks about. You usually think, okay, there's one player sitting on brown stairs going to be playing in that spot. That's why you had Draven, I believe, sitting at the top of Cigar Balcony and holding that angle. But you're not expecting the Pulse to be there. We talked about Nitro cells, but just the fact that you can feed information back is great on its own, right? So beautiful plays there. The Ying is going to come out from Virtus.Pro, very oppressive as we always describe her. So let's see if that actually works out for the attack of Virtus.Pro. If Secret choose to huddle up too much, definitely so. But a Legion on the other side, we don't usually see it.
Well, it was a bit of a bait, I think, there, because originally that Ying was a Monty. It got picked away, and I think KS get cold feet there. It's like playing a game of chicken, right? And he lost out there. He switched away from what he was on before and went over to playing the Legion. I think because in their mind, they're aware they don't have tons here to deal with the Monty if he does come in. They had one C4 coming out of Prano. They had the smoke on side. That was about it. WTG could have done a lot of damage with that setup if it came true. And I think looking at Shockwave on the Nomad, that just screams to me, we want to make sure our flanks are safe so we can push forward on a Monty. I'm not surprised Secret have backed away, but this Ying could really come through to hurt them. Now, this is where that my ban may well come to be absolutely mega for Virtus.Pro.
So, Secret actually opting away from a rotation into Red Hall, well, Bakery Hallway 50. That's actually a pretty interesting decision because they were close to abusing that when they went in under attack. They were pushing into Croak and seeing that that rotation hall was open. Enough for you to catch a player that is playing in the hallway or in coach check coming in from the red stairs. I usually prefer holes on foot level just because you can really cheese the system in that way, but not allowing the rotations or at least forcing VP to use some utility for it is good enough. So a bit of a difference there from Secret. Goo Mines will add an extra layer on top of all of that if KS is able to set him correctly. Of course, Legion nowhere near as strong as he was before, and I do agree it was definitely too strong in the past. But I digress. WTG is going to be the key operator in this one. But first, you got to clear before going to kitchen.
Well, Pasha was straight in as well, dropped down Skylight, immediately bolted over to White Stairs and is now trying to contest in towards Fireplace, where it looks like there is a little bit of presence coming out of Secret. It is Hive holding nearby. It's going to be Ash versus Jaeger. What more could you ask for in terms of a dream 1 versus 1 in Siege, dare I say? Either way, 90 seconds in, they're in the spot where they have control of the next site down as well. In this case, KS is the one roaming out. There's 2 of them playing on the second floor. They are trying to cause trouble, and there we go. I said that it can become a 2-half game in Siege. So far, it has started that way. 2 kills to Secret to kick this round off.
Virtus.Pro not getting the right information at the right time. Drones came in, but somehow could not spot KS. There's another shot. Shockwave, good night, my friend. Prado with another one on Mamizian. And it's reading. They're reading them like an open book. Team Secret, flawless for them on their first round on the defense. Beautiful play from KS. Goo Mines galore. And the SMG doing work. That is a bloody red reading room. I gotta say, that's not how I remodel my room, to be honest.
Can we just touch again on the fact that the only 2 rounds that Secret have won so far have both been flawless rounds? They have dismantled Virtus.Pro in both of them, right? And it's just bizarre, like how we've seen a lot of those attacking rounds look like Secret were kind of really trying to get the engine started, but just didn't quite have enough fuel in the tank to see it the whole way through. When it comes to actually winning rounds, though, it's like an avalanche. It just all falls to their side incredibly quickly, exactly the same as in that previous round. And I'll kind of say it. It is a game of 2 halves. That was only 1 round. Virtus.Pro still only got to find 2 more to close this out. It is still a mountain to climb for Team Secret, who, let's not forget, are at the bottom of the table right now with just 2 points. The idea is there. The end result isn't. And this is the biggest issue for this team in the world today.
Well, let's see how this works out for Secret on the reading defense. How much pressure are they going to put on that top floor? How much are they investing into the reinforcement? Draven's going to be brought in with the Maestro. You see the Mozzie. No Mute to combine with him, but you got a Jaeger as well. Expo running the Pulse, same as we saw from Virtus.Pro. I'm excited to see where Expo gets played as a player and operator. Maybe he's looking for that counter flank revenge possibility, but you could first of all start him by playing inside of reading, right? You gather information on anybody inside a cigar, you gather info on anybody pushing in the bar, and if you have that, then you increase the chances of your teammates surviving inside of Cocktail very far.
I'm looking straight away at the fact there's 2 C4s with the Pulse here, right? They've got that intel they need upstairs. They know when they're trying to push their way through Cigar, and all it's going to take is a yeet and a boom, and Secret will once again find themselves in a spot where 2 opening kills fly their way. Let's not forget that's exactly how it went in the last round. A minute and a half in. Well, Hive, that would definitely be a place he doesn't find himself lying down again. Shockwave, very cheeky there, almost managing to find a kill. That would have been incredibly painful given the fact that's one of their C4s they're looking to play behind.
Yeah, that would not be a great situation if you ask me. Too much utility and a great operator to lose. The Pulse is actually going to be sitting in that position. It's going to give some information out. Unfortunately, the hole has not been prepared, as you see on the window. I'm not sure if that was done on purpose or not, but fair enough. Unfortunately, no damage to the exchange. Virtus.Pro is just taking their sweet time, coming into Cigar, opening up as much as possible into Bar. They know they have to deal with a couple operators here, and maybe an extra one at the top of White Stairs. This is how you usually divide. It's a 3-2 division of ops, and the Pulse is giving information from below. Exactly how we were describing it, Des. You have info on your opponents. Just feed that information back to your players of Cocktail.
Comes down to, I mean, Expo, to be fair, I hate to call the guy out. He currently has the lowest stats in the whole competition of the European League. He is the support player. He is the IGL. He's the guy making the calls at the back. But can you afford to be this far down in a league this competitive? There are plenty of IGLs that we can think of inside of the European League who are doing just fine. Fabian, one that jumps to mind. Leon maybe not doing as well as we would like. I think he has one of the lowest survival rates in the game, but there are others that are doing better right now. So I like that at least he's playing on this operator that is more about feeding information over. See if he can find something with a C4. Going to try and throw one up, but doesn't manage to connect anything as Virtus.Pro very sensibly backed their way in towards the bar. It's a 5 versus 4. They've dealt with the C4s. This is a great advantage for Virtus.Pro right now.
Oh, the grenade bouncing right over the edge. Rask has to run back to take no damage. The Gridlock's pressuring downstairs. As you know, Expo is the man to deal with. KS trying to hold on. The Ash takes a lot of damage, but somehow evades the kill. Flashbang thrown down, unfortunately, will miss.
Okay.
And the Ash still runs around the corner. WTG and Rask finding a kill each, and there's Pasha with an extra fill of zone. Hypes around the corner. Hello! Duckers around it in a flawless round from Virtus.Pro. He did not see that one coming. I'm telling them.
Nope. Did you miss him? Look. I think for a half a second, yeah, didn't quite register that he was there. It's another flawless round. This time, not going to the side of Secret. It is looking stranger and stranger with every passing round. Does feel like Virtus.Pro have just got something about them. These last couple of games, things have started looking up for them. And I know at the very start of the season, we were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not the team that we saw in PL Season 11, formerly known as Fours. This is not the team that we saw playing in the European Open Cups or Open Clash before this all got underway. Everyone was very worried for them. We thought suddenly this dark horse of the competition was going to sink down to the bottom, never to be seen again. But I'm definitely getting more and more impressed the longer the time goes by. For Secret, though, it is the same recurring issues. It's all about the finishing result, the delivery of the product that is currently missing. But they always start with the best intentions.
And honestly, I have to also add on this. If a lot of people were kind of paying attention to the stats, like on the Wikipedia, CG, or whatever, performance of Team Secret, you might see that they actually beat G2 7-2 in the German National League. I personally wouldn't use that statistic to kind of preface some sort of detailed analysis, something about what these two teams are doing so far in the league. In really any league, that's much of a preface Thanksgiving. So you might be lured into a false sense of comfort and look at, well, Secret BG2, maybe they can beat VP today. No, that's not a representative game, even though it only happened a few days ago. But there's KS trying to set up here. He's got some information to get through into Cigar. We're seeing a lot of Casio, for example, being played in here if you're going to put a lot of attention into Cigar Lounge itself. But usually that works way better when you have both Jaeger and Wamai.
I love this.
That's so good. You know, Des, more teams are afraid of open walls than they are of closed ones, because you never know what's coming.
You just don't know what's waiting on the other side most of the time. I like the setup. This is a very standard one. It's the one that's lower down here that Medics is very kindly now showing us, that sees the whole way through from in white, straight the way across, through storage, and out in towards Cocktail. It makes it incredible. Cocktail, sorry. What am I about? Piano. Makes it impossible to play inside there because you just risk being peeked out by someone and shot. So I would like to see a bit of maybe an attack coming in from the other side. Here is the focus from Virtus.Pro, try and looking towards the east. That seems to be where there is some focus, but Shockwave may just be here to get down an air jab or two to prevent those later round rotations. They have brought Nomad, they have brought Gridlock. It is all about trapping Secret in place and then going for the kills.
Oh, Rask is taking so much damage from Brownstairs. He has to watch out. There's players right above him as well. He's got to be really careful. And it's a good thing that he has one teammate behind him watching her outside of Pillar's door. Downstairs, I believe it's the Jaeger that was running around a panel. I'm not sure he's going to go back through Bakery and rotate up on Red Stairs. But yeah, he is in Bakery. And he will try to rotate back up at some point in time, maybe for runouts, depending on what his opponent end up doing. You have information to kind of ferry all of this through. Monty and the Mira are a big positive. Nitro Cell being prepped. There's nobody around the corner trying to gather the info. Yeah, too far away, not worth it. Draven's going to walk on back. And he's got the smoke to support him as well at the top of White. Right now, you're allowing Virtus.Pro a lot of space to do whatever they want.
I was just about to say that, yeah. Virtus.Pro are giving both Secret the room to do what they want, to kind of like a little Yorkshire Terrier or something, like snapping at your heels every now and then and saying, okay, you want to bite? Fine. We'll back away. We'll wait. We'll come back. No issue by us. And then finally, you strike. It's Rask finding a kill with that grenade onto Hype, and that's the Goyo gone down as well. So if he still had that C4 in the back pocket, guess what? He doesn't have it anymore.
That's a great grenade preparation. This is why vertical play, we always keep talking about it. But time is of the essence, and Pasha, quick shot onto the head. Prano has been taken down. Barbed wire is going to be pushed here for a second. Expo still find WTG, so it's something. But although shields are down, Draven will find one more onto Emigian, trying to slow things down. Secret still have both the Mira and a Nitro Cell on Draven, plus KS on the Maestro. Even though it's a 3v2, plenty of opportunity for Secret to take this one.
Levi's got completely the other side of his shield. Shockwave on the drop. It's a 3 versus 1 though. It's all down to Draven by himself. You think he's got the most frags for his team in this game. One of the big fraggers for them, but it's a 2 versus 1. That plant is going down, and I'm not going to lie here, Milosh, I always give the advantage over to Virtus.Pro in these kind of situations. Secret have time and time again showed the delivery is not there. Well, it's all down to the Grenade Master himself in Draven to make this one happen. Out comes a C4. That's going to go nowhere. It's entirely on him now to get himself outside a cocktail and find a kill. Steps in, there's someone to his left. He doesn't even know at this point, I don't think. Waits for him to walk around the corner. It's all too easy for Rask. It's all too easy for Virtus.Pro. A dominant performance from them against Secret as their woes go from bad to worse. They stay at the bottom of the table on just 2 points.
Unfortunate there, Virtus.Pro showing why they're a team that we just hyped up so much coming into EU League. Another 3 points that they put on the board, and you'll see them now with 3 wins and 2 losses, 9 points in total for them. So excellent play from VP. They showed that throughout this entire game they had full control, and you mentioned it when we were sitting back during the game. The 2 rounds that ended up going for Secret were flawless. So there is something to look into that, and it's the same mistake that's been coming up. VP capitalizing on that time, basically time management.
Virtus.Pro just looked sharper, in my opinion. That's the problem that Secret had today. They started with the right intent, but ultimately couldn't deliver the end product. But like any good broadcast, we like to have an end product before we go to a break. Let's go back to the analysts to break down that game.
Cheers there, Des. Hope you and Milosh had a good time